Good evening, everyone. Today is Friday, March 20th, and I'm off tonight. So I thought that I would come on here and kill some time. The boys are racing out of town, so yeah, I didn't have anything else to do. And there's a case I came across yesterday that sounds interesting. It's going to be a hard case to cover, but they need to be covered. These cases need to be brought to the public's eye, if nothing else, to save our kids. You know, kids having kids. It's it's a hard thing to watch. You know, these young kids are in such a hurry to grow up and do adult things, and they're just not ready. You know, no matter how mature they are, they're just not ready. They don't have the life experience that we as adults have. And they, sorry, my puppy's chewing on something, wanted to make sure she wasn't chewing on my shoes. They just don't have the life experiences that we have. They can't work their way through problems like adults can. And, you know, stuff like that, prioritizing responsibility, re, just the stuff that we as adults take for granted, they're just not at the top of these young people's thought process. And they think that, you know, if they have a baby, that makes them a grown up, and it doesn't. It's just a kid having a baby. And now you have two kids to raise in your household because, of course, you know, most of them are underage and can't even get a full-time job to support the baby that they're having. So they have the baby, you know, under mom and dad's health insurance, and they live under mom and dad's roof, and mom and dad usually end up raising the grandchild as well as their daughter. And it's heartbreaking to watch, and it seems to be happening more and more. And I don't know if that's why we're seeing what seems to be a rise on infanticide. Is that the word? Or if it's just because of the internet, we're able to learn about it faster or at all. Whereas before, if you know you didn't get a newspaper from that part of the world, you're not going to really know what's going on unless you watch CNN or something that covers, you know, the nation at least. So yeah, this is her name is, it's a story out of Yakima, Washington. An OnlyFans young mother of 20 years old has I think it's a 2-year-old or almost a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old at 20 years old. Her life's just beginning, and she's raising 2 kids alone, of course. I've looked everywhere and tried every trick I can to find anything out about the baby daddies. If there's one or two, you know, is there just one daddy for the both of them? Are there 2 daddies? I looked everywhere I knew to look to find any kind of history on the mom. Her name is Kyleah Tolle, Tolle. Beautiful name. Kyleah Rose Tolle, I believe, is her middle name. And the only thing I could find out is she was adopted at 2 years old, but I can't find anything about her birth parents or why she was adopted, if the people that adopted her knew her parents, or if they were just her foster parents and they adopted her. I mean, I'm having a hell of a time trying to find anything out. So bear with me, but we will video tonight, and the story leading up to her arrest in February 2025. She just had a hearing in the end of February of 2026, pretrial stuff. I haven't been able to find out whether or not they are going to televise her trial, but they're hoping to start her trial June 1st. Her last pretrial hearing is I believe it's May 13th. Whoops. Yeah, oh no, May 22nd is her last pretrial hearing, and then the trial is set to start June 1st. So if it is going to be televised, I would like to cover it. It is one of those hard cases that you don't really enjoy covering most of these cases, but I think that they need to be covered. I think that the world needs to open their eyes to what is going on with our youth and try to figure out a way to stop it, or at least make some kind of safety net or some kind of system where these young kids that are having kids have some place to turn to other than DCSF, because if you turn to DCSF for help, that's when you feel like you're going to lose your babies, even though we all know that it takes an act of God for DCSF to ever remove kids from their home. That's why we get into a lot of these situations, because they put too much emphasis on keeping the family together, as far as I'm concerned. When there are little ones' lives involved and at stake, I don't feel like any excuses should ever be made. You either toe the line or you lose your kids. That's our future. That's our country's future right there. And I guess if nothing else, we know they can survive pure hell if they are kept with the families in situations such as this. But what kind of mindset do they have when they reach adulthood? It's just going to be a never-ending cycle of the same thing over and over and over, and it's no good for anybody, especially most of all the children. And that's our country's future. So we should all be concerned about the treatment of our youth. So there's that. Anyway, she's 20 years old. She has a toddler and a 7-month-old at home. She's got very supportive parents. They're her adopted parents, but they're very supportive of her. They tell her all the time that, if you need a break, if you need to get away, if you need time alone, let us know. We will, no matter what time, day or night, we will come get the girls. We will come get the babies and give you that time. We're here for you. We want to help you. We want to help support you. She was living on her own with the two babies, alone with the two babies. There's really no mention of a man in her life, other than she had a live-in boyfriend at some point in time. And the only reason I know that is because when he left his two dogs there, and she let them starve. One starved to death, and was dehydrated. The other one was on the verge of dying when Animal Services found him and saved him. And her reasoning was, well, they're not my dogs. So she locked him in a room with no food and water and forgot about him. Not forgot about him, like really forgot about him. She just didn't care to check on him. And what a horrible way to die. I can't imagine a worse way to die than to die of starvation and dehydration. It's such a slow, agonizing, torturous death. And you really got to wonder about people who can let that take place, whether it's an animal or a human. At least let them go. Let them have a chance. You know, if you let them go, they have a chance at surviving because they're out. They can try and get their own food, they can get their own water. But if you lock them in a room, you take every opportunity away from them to save their own lives, to make it on their own. That's just cruel. Let them go. Anyway, so yeah, and you know, needless to say, what happened to her two children isn't a far stretch from what happened to those dogs. Um, it's heartbreaking. She did have a hearing in the end of February, and she pled not guilty. I believe DCSF was there supporting her. I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm sure there's a underlying story there somewhere. I don't. I know that her adopted parents have been attending the court hearings, but they are not supporting her at all. In fact, after the interrogation, she called her adopted mother and she got her ass chewed. And I can't say as I blame the mom because, like I said, they gave her every opportunity to turn to them if she needed help. If she needed to just drop the babies off, or if she needed them to come get the babies. They didn't have a time limit. They didn't have an hour, where, oh, it's too late. I mean, it was an open-ended invitation, and she chose not to take them up on it. You will see that in her she goes on a rant on Snapchat before they arrest her. And her friends are the ones that end up calling the police and reporting her, and that they are worried about her kids and she's acting strange and she's not saying where she is. And she's talking about her baby being murdered by somebody that she left to babysit them. And she's just all over the place. I don't know if she's on something. I guess she did buy cocaine a couple nights prior to this, Snapchat live session. And she said she did it all in hopes of, unaliving herself. How true that is, I don't know. But when they get her into the interrogation room, she really loses her shit. She just goes batshit crazy. She's unintelligible. You can't understand most of what she's saying. She doesn't make sense. She's all over the place. She slurs her words, but she's also like talking like a mumblish type language. They ask her to draw a timeline, or she offers to draw them a timeline of what happened. And I mean, they'll show it to us. The scribbling on this timeline is, well, it's illegible for one, but it's like, I don't know if she's, I don't know if the results of what happened are what sent her over the edge, or if she lost it before this happened. It's hard to tell. But they seem to think that she's in the right mind to help in her defense. And they are moving forward with the trial. So it ought to be interesting, and I hope that it is televised because, like I said, I think that as painful as it will be to watch and hear, I think that it's a reality check for the people in our communities who want to turn a blind eye to it or act like it's not happening. It's happening. It's happening everywhere. Rich communities, poor cheerleaders, punk rockers, loners, you name it. It's happening, and we need to face it. We can't turn a blind eye to it any longer. It's just costing too much. at the cost of the kids. At the expense of the kids. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No. So anyway, we're gonna get right into it. There was something I wanted. Kelsey opted for a bench trial, and that starts Monday. I guess there's nothing else I was going to talk about. It seems like there was something I wanted to talk about. That I realized when I got off after my last live. I remembered something and I thought, shit, should I just go back on for 10 more minutes and cover it, or should I just leave it till next time? And now I decided to leave it till next time, and now I don't know what it was. Oh well. There's also, I lost my little planner on that I have all my trials written in, and we missed the Wesley Hennard hearing. He's the, I believe, the 19-year-old that Judge Barbara Elmore, the Aaron Spencer's prior judge before she was recused, he was charged and arrested for rape of a minor and all kinds of other disgusting, horrible things. And she let him out on a minimal bail, like she did with, Aaron Spencer's daughter's predator. And while he was out on bail, he reoffended in a different county. And he's been arrested for that. And he's in that jail now in Polk County, awaiting trial for that. He had a hearing, and so we missed that, which is upsetting. But his trial will start let me see. I believe is it April? Yeah, April 29th is his trial in Lone Oak. So, yeah, I'd like to cover that one too. That'll be interesting because I do believe Judge Elmore is still the judge on his case in Lone Oak. I'm not sure what judge is on his Polk County trial case, but Judge Barbara Elmore is still the presiding judge over his case in Lone Oak. So that'll be interesting to watch, and I'm here for it. Also, the Garcias, little Mimi Garcia Torres, the 11-year-old that was found in a plastic bin behind an abandoned house in New Franklin, Connecticut. They just had a hearing also, and it wasn't televised. So their next hearing, I'm going to have to look to see when their next hearing is. But yeah, they just had a hearing March 6th, I think. So yeah, it's kind of just discouraging that I missed all these because I couldn't find my frickin' book. So, and there's also that hazing hearing from Flagstaff, Arizona. That's not till no, that was in February. That's how I found out about it, is by watching that hearing. So never mind. I'm gonna have to look to see when their next hearing is also. So there's a lot of a lot of interesting cases coming up for hearings and stuff in the next few months. So I kind of want to decide which ones I'm most interested in, and also which ones are going to be televised, because that's really going to be the ultimate um, um, decision maker, is whether or not we can even watch it. Because if not, then it's kind of boring to just keep going through all the court documents and not be able to watch the actual hearings or the trial. I don't even really care about the hearings so much. If they're going to televise the trial, fine, but it seems like more and more judges are not wanting to allow media coverage in their courtrooms. And I'm like, well, if that doesn't look a little sketch, I mean, we have the right to know what's going on in our courtrooms, and not everybody can fly all over the place to watch these cases. So if that's the only way that we can stay up to date on what's going on in our courtrooms, then it should be mandatory that media is given the option of coming in and filming. I mean, I'm sure they don't come in to film everything, but the interesting ones, or the most, the biggest ones that hit the media the hardest, people want to know. People want to know what's going on. Like the Karen Reed thing. Could you imagine if that wasn't streamed? What kind of backlash Judge Auntie Bev would have gotten? I mean, she had to allow it to be streamed. She didn't want it streamed. She didn't want the media in there, but she knew that if she denied them, there would be hell to pay. So, yeah. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe so that this gets out there, because I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it. And I think it's an important case for people to know about. I think it's right up there with the Aaron Spencer and the, Kelsey Fitzsimmons cases, for a different reason, but still just as important as far as I'm concerned. I will also be going over the DCSF report. In fact, we'll do that first. How's that? I think that's the way to start. So let me see. I have that song because I got high in my head because I was watching the Afro Man trial. So, yeah, there's that. What am I trying to find here? Nope, that's not it. Okay. What am I trying to do here? Okay. Um, okay. Okay. So full report, child, CT and HT. Just 1 second, please. Okay, sorry about that. Sounded like somebody was coming in my back door and nobody's supposed to be here but me, so anyway. Child is CT and HT. I know that the infant's name was Cherry. So that must be Cherry Tolle, and I'm not sure what the toddler's name was. Or is. Sorry. Whoops. Date of child's birth, July 2024 and January 2023. Date of fatality and near fatality, unknown, but law enforcement found them on February 25th, 2025. Child fatality and near fatality review date, April 29th, 2025. And then it gives a list of the committee members and the facilitator. Executive summary. On March 6, 2025, the Department of Children, Youth, and Families conducted a child fatality review, CFR, and child near fatality review, CNFR, to examine DCYF's practice and service delivery, CT, HT, and their family. The children, CT and HT, will be referenced by their initials throughout this report. On February 25th, 2025, DCYF was notified that law enforcement responded to the family's apartment after the mother called 911 to report that she believed her baby was unalive and she was considering unaliving herself. When law enforcement arrived at the home, they found that 7-month-old CT was deceased and 2-year-old HT was near death. HT was transported to a local hospital and then sent by helicopter to Seattle Children's Hospital due to redacted level of care needs, higher level of care needs, I'm thinking. This information resulted in a Child Protective Services CPS investigation. Allegations of abuse or neglect that meet the legal sufficiency result in a screened-in intake to either CPS or Family Assessment Response or Family Assessment Response, FAR, period. FAR intakes are an alternative response to CPS investigations. The allegations in FAR intakes are lower risk than those in CPS investigations. Prior to DCYF learning of the fatality and near-fatal event, DCYF received 7 intakes regarding the family. Of the 7 intakes, 4 met sufficiency for a CPS investigation or FAR assessment. At the time of intake, the family had an open CPS case due to allegations of parental neglect. A FAR case was opened in January due to allegations that the mother's home was unsanitary. A CFR/CNFR committee was assembled to review DCYF's involvement and service provision to this family. The committee included members with relevant expertise selected from diverse disciplines within DCYF and community partners. Committee members had no prior direct involvement with CT, HT, or their family. Before the review, the committee received relevant case history from DCYF. On the day of the review, the committee had the opportunity to speak with staff who were assigned to this case in 2023, 24, and 2025. Case overview. The information documented in this section is not fully inclusive of all contacts and actions by DCYF staff. On February 2, 2023, DCYF screened out an intake alleging HT's mother smoked Percocet pills and used the white substance, while she was pregnant with HT. HT was born 9 days prior to the call. HT's 18-year-old mother and 19-year-old father lived in, that's the first thing I've heard about a father. And 19-year-old father lived in a home with other teenagers, quote unquote, and two older parents, quote unquote. The caller reported that the 19-year-old father signed the birth certificate but is not HT's biological father, but he did marry the mother recently. Really? I never heard about it. See, if you want to know anything, go to the source, I guess. The caller also reported that the mother dropped out of high school and doesn't speak to her parents, which, it wasn't true at the time this happened, so I'm not sure how true that is. The caller also reported a quote-unquote nasty violent rash on HT's face, and when asked to describe what that meant, the caller said, redacted. The next call was received on October 20th, 2023. It doesn't say what they did in response to that call. Anyway, the next call was received on October 20, 2023. A community service provider working with the mother reported that the home was littered with cat feces. There were at least 11 cats in the home and multiple unkempt litter boxes. Oh my God, that breaks my heart. HT was 8 months old and crawling. HT lived with redacted mother only. This information resulted in a FAR assignment. So the non-biological father must have moved out. The assigned caseworker made multiple attempts between October 21 and 23, 2 days, to see the mother and child at their home. It wasn't until October 25th that the caseworker was able to meet with them in their home. The caseworker observed 8 cats and 6 kittens. The home was cluttered and messy. The mother said that HT was going to stay with the maternal grandparents while she cleaned her home. The mother's boyfriend was at the home but refused to provide identification. On November 13, 2023, another intake was received, and this time it screened in for a CPS investigation. The allegations were that the mother was smoking cannabis in her home, abusing alcohol, using Kyleah, taking her baby to parties where substances were abused, and leaving her baby with random people. The caller also reported that the mother has 11 cats and the home has cat feces and urine throughout, as well as concerns that HT appears, quote unquote, a little underweight and is not having diapers changed timely. I don't know why that's redacted. That's so weird. The same caseworker was assigned to this intake. He went to the home the day after the November intake. The mother did not answer the door when he knocked. The caseworker contacted law enforcement to assist with a welfare check. The conditions in the home were documented to be messy with a strong smell of cat urine and dirty diapers throughout the home. There were cannabis pipes, lighters, and a torch within reach of the child. The mother denied using Kyleah and said she is smoking cannabis for pain related to, I'm going to say probably maybe she had a C-section. The law enforcement officer told the mother that the conditions of the home were not safe for HT to remain there. The mother said that her child will stay with the maternal grandparents. That same day, this sent a request to a contracted medical provider asking for information about the impacts of exposure to large amounts of cat urine. They can burn their skin. The supervisor and caseworker called and spoke with the maternal grandfather. He shared that his daughter started having behavioral issues around the age of 9 years old. They attempted counseling and she refused to take medications. The mother had been adopted by her parents after she was born substance exposed. The grandfather knew the mother's biological father, there you go, and was aware of both biological parents' substance use issues. The grandfather said that he and his wife are willing to help and that his daughter is open to help. He also agreed to attend a family team decision-making meeting, FTDM. The DCYF staff held a safe child consultation, and the recommendations included more collateral contacts, utilizing parent locator staff to find and contact HT's father, and the FTDM that was scheduled for November 6th. 2023. On November 16th, 2023, the caseworker contacted HT's father. He denied knowing the family. Oh, Jesus. The FTDM was held. The mother, her parents, and her friend attended the meeting. The meeting outcome was that HT would remain with the grandparents on a voluntary placement agreement until the home was clean enough for her to return. The mother made some progress cleaning the home, but not enough for HT to return. This was observed by the CPS caseworker and supervisor after the FTDM. On November 20th, the caseworker arrived at the mother's home for a scheduled home visit. She was not home. The mother later emailed the caseworker stating she was at a friend's home and was ill. They rescheduled for the following day. That same day, the caseworker met the grandfather and HT at the grandparents' home. On November 21st, the mother was still not home when the caseworker arrived at their scheduled appointment time. He went back to the home an hour later, but no one answered the door. He went to the home again the following day, and he heard music playing, but no one answered the door. She later called the caseworker and told him she was looking for a job and trying to get information on how to obtain her GED. So you can't answer the door? I mean, what? You're not making very good impressions. Over the observed holiday in late November, the grandfather left the CPS supervisor messages about the mother threatening to come and take HT from the grandparents. The grandfather reported that later the mother said she was going to, quote unquote, check herself in someplace, and the grandfather expressed concerns for her anger and mental well-being. Multiple attempts were made by the caseworker to see the mother at her home. On November 28, 2023, the caseworker was finally able to meet with the mother in her home. The home had been cleaned up a bit more than the last contact, but still had a very strong urine smell, and she still had cats in her home, even though she had agreed to find them homes elsewhere. The caseworker also will give her a couple more months and they'll all be unalived. They just haven't had time to starve to death yet. I'm sorry, that's terrible, but I wish it weren't true. The caseworker also facilitated a telephone conversation between the mother and the Project Safe Care provider. The provider had previously notified the caseworker that the mother was not making herself available to meet. During that call, a meeting was scheduled for the following week. The caseworker received a call from the visitation supervisor. The visitation supervisor stated that the mother was not cooperative in setting up visitation with HT. The caseworker went to the mother's home to discuss this, but she did not answer the door. DCYF scheduled another FTDM for December 7th, 2023. The mother, her parents, the PSC provider, and DCYF staff attended the meeting. Well, at least she showed up for that. The plan following the meeting included HT returning to mother's care and that the mother would engage in family voluntary services and maintain working with PSC. So if she doesn't do what you want her to do long enough, you'll just give in to her, basically. That's what you just proved to her. If you avoid us and ignore us just enough, we'll just go ahead and give you your baby back. It's not worth the fight. On December 8th, the CPS caseworker contacted the mother's friend for a collateral resource. The friend shared concerns that the mother did not, and the child was crying and would often leave her unattended or with different men that the mother called roommates. The friend also shared that the mother was posting on social media that she was 7 weeks pregnant and that 3 weeks ago the mother was, oh my God, drinking heavily and using cola after breaking up with her boyfriend. She said she had photos of the cola use in the mother's home. The friend also shared that she felt the home conditions were disgusting. The same day, the FES caseworker went to the mother's home. The caseworker documented that the home had a foul odor of cat urine, quote unquote, was messy with trash on the floor, and the kitchen sink was overflowing with dirty dishes. There were litter boxes spilling over and cats running throughout the home. The mother told the FES caseworker that she and HT would stay with her parents until the home was cleaned and safe to return. On December 11th, the FES caseworker returned to the mother's home. Some progress had been made. HT was found standing in the crib. The kitchen still had a cat urine smell, and there was also a strong odor of feces. The PSC provider met with the mother for 4 days later. The provider reported back to the FES caseworker her concerns about the home continuing to having a strong odor of cat urine and that the litter boxes were overflowing. The provider gave the mother information about the harm that could come to HT, the mother and unborn baby, by continued exposure to this environment. It'll burn your lungs. It's like uric acid. The provider shared that she will be wearing an N95 mask and using gloves at future meetings. At the next contact on December 18th, the FES caseworker observed the home to have a significant odor of cat urine throughout the home. So this is just a week later. The FES caseworker observed the home to have a significant odor of cat urine throughout the home. The floors had spilled food and drinks, and the kitchen sink was full of dirty dishes. HT was observed to be in her crib again. A couple days later, the PSC provider notified the caseworker that the mother failed to make herself available for their scheduled visit. She said she could smell cat urine and feces from outside the door to the apartment. Well, where was the mother if the baby was standing in her crib? That's what I want to know. If she wasn't available for your meeting. On January 4th, 2024, the caseworker went to the mother's home. The mother did not answer the door until the caseworker texted her. When the caseworker entered the home, there was still a strong cat urine smell as well as a strong lemon odor from cleaning products. The floor and dishes had been cleaned. HT was once again in her crib, in her bedroom. The caseworker expressed concern that every time she is at the home, HT is alone in her crib, in her room in the crib. The mother said that HT kicked her in the stomach, causing her to bleed, and that she was fine being separated from her. Wow. The caseworker discussed that taking a break is fine, but detailed her concerns with leaving HT alone in a dark room for extended periods without interaction. The PSC provider met with the mother the following day. The provider said the odor was better and that she did not need to wear a mask. Another FTDM was held on January 10th, and the same participants were present as were at the last meeting. On January 18th, 2024, a second SCC was held. The recommendation was to continue FES and PSC and reassess in 30 days. On January 29th, the FES caseworker called HT's father. He denied having blank. The caseworker asked for him to send a copy of his ID to verify that she had the incorrect person, and he agreed. He did not follow through. Imagine that. The FES caseworker then contacted the maternal grandmother. She shared that the mother married HT's legal father before the birth, but he was not the biological father. The grandmother shared the name she had heard was the biological father. They also discussed how the mother was doing. During a home visit on February 22nd, 2024, the caseworker asked the mother about the male that was at the home during a home visit. The mother stated that it was the legal father of HT. The caseworker asked who the father of the unborn child was, and the mother shared the name that the grandmother had previously shared as HT's biological father. Then the mother said that the legal father was in the home, but in the bathroom. She texted him to join them, and he did. The caseworker tried to discuss the previous contacts with him, but he denied engaging in those contacts. The caseworker then spoke with the mother about her ongoing positive urine tests. Her tests have all been positive for cannabis. The mother said she consumes THC gummies to help with the morning sickness and that her doctor is aware. Between February 22nd and March 26th, the FVS caseworker had multiple contacts with the PSC provider and other collateral contacts. The PSC provider expressed some concern that the mother was again leaving HT alone in her crib and struggled learning how to play and interact with HT. The mother also was not cooperating with a referral to parent-child assistance program. They need to give these kids parenting classes. The court needs to make it mandatory. They just need to. On March 27th, the caseworker met with the mother again at her home. The caseworker documented that the home was free of odors and was fairly clean. The caseworker went out again 2 days later. This was an unannounced home visit. HT was in her crib with a bottle. They discussed needing to get HT off the bottle. The caseworker told the mother that DCYF was abiding by her request to close the case. The case closed on April 4th, 2024. Wow. On June 2nd, you're still not doing what you need to do, but we're going to close the case because you requested it to be closed. Are you fucking kidding me? No wonder we're in the situation we're in. When are they going to be held liable for their bullshit? I mean, obviously what they're doing is not working. When are they going to be held accountable? On June 7th, 2024, information was received that resulted in a CPS investigation. So 3 months later, allegations of blank assault by the father of the unborn baby were reported. This occurred September 2023 and HT was in the home. DCYF after hours staff went out that same evening, but no one answered the door. Of course not. They called the mother's telephone number. They received a response stating that they were busy but could text. When the caseworker responded about the investigation, the person stopped responding. After hours, staff went out again the following day. No one answered the door. The mother responded to a telephone call by stating that she will not meet with any DCYF workers. Then go in there and take the fucking baby. What are we doing here? On June 10th, 2 CPS caseworkers went to the mother's home. This is so infuriating. The caseworkers knocked multiple times and eventually the mother answered the door. The father of the unborn child, CT, who is also the alleged offender in the investigation, was in the apartment along with the mother and HT. The mother told the caseworkers that they could not be in her home. She took HT outside to conduct the initial face-to-face. When told of the allegations, the mother said that the incident happened a long time ago and she has forgiven him. She also shared that their relationship dynamic has changed and they are going to church and not allowing sin into their relationship. She also made the statement, quote, "Nobody took it seriously, so I decided to forgive him," end quote. The assigned CPS caseworker called the maternal grandfather. He said that HT spends every other week with the grandparents and they did not have any concerns for her well-being. The caseworker also reached out to the local law enforcement jurisdiction to see if there were any reports filed regarding the incident. The incident had not been reported. So who didn't believe her? On June 26th, the mother and maternal grandfather met with the caseworker at the DCYF office. They once again discussed the blank assault. The grandfather shared that he has seen both parents make progress and that he is proud of his daughter. The mother then consented to a walkthrough of her home. The caseworker observed the home to be clean and safe. On July 17th, caseworker called the referral source. On July 17th, the caseworker called the referral source. She left a voicemail message. On July 25th, the caseworker called to speak with CT's father to discuss the case as well as the legal father to HT. Neither answered the calls, and the caseworker left voicemail messages. The mother gave birth to CT in July. On August 5th, the caseworker again called CT's father and left a voicemail message. She also texted the mother to set up another home visit. The mother did not respond. The caseworker then called the pediatrician's office. They did not have any concerns for HT's well-being. The caseworker also called HT's legal father's mother. She reported that her son is not the biological father to the child, but he signed the birth certificate because they were married at the time of HT's birth. He does not have any visitation with HT, period. The caseworker subsequently spoke with the legal father. He provided the same information as his mother. Finally, the caseworker spoke with a community service provider who confirmed that the mother was participating in parenting classes. After 2 more failed attempts to schedule a home visit with the mother, the caseworker called the maternal grandfather for assistance. He called his daughter, then told the caseworker to call her. The mother did not answer the call. The caseworker then spoke with the grandfather again. He reported concerns that his daughter is sleeping excessively and the home is becoming dirty. The grandparents reported seeing HT on the weekends and have not seen any signs of neglect or abuse to her physically. The caseworker made multiple attempts again to see the mother and the home, but the mother never answered the door and did not respond to text messages or telephone calls. On September 11, 2024, the caseworker again went to the home. She knocked on the door multiple times and then called CT's father. He stated they were not home. The caseworker then called the grandfather. He said his daughter is upset with them because the grandparents are trying to hold her accountable. He said he did not believe that HT was in immediate danger, but that the parents are often away and are not regularly parenting HT. Well, what does that mean? They're not regularly parenting her. They're irregularly parenting her? I don't get that. After further attempts to see HT, mother, and the home, the caseworker was able to enter the home on September 18th. The caseworker was able to observe the newborn CT and redacted HT. The caseworker discussed and observed safe sleep, as well as discussed the period of purple crying. The home was cluttered and there was an odor, but no obvious safety threats. The caseworker offered the mother voluntary services to assist in getting the home cleaned and organized. The mother did not want any assistance other than with diapers. On September 19, 2024, the case was closed. On January 13, 2025, a new intake was received and resulted in a FAR assignment. The maternal grandparents reported concerns for redacted. The mother left both children in their care for 3 weeks. 3 weeks prior, the grandfather found the apartment to be filthy and unsafe. The grandparents will not return the children until the home is clean and safe. The mother was sleeping and not caring for the children. The grandparents said that they are struggling because of their own employment needs and they do not have child care for the children. On January 14th, the assigned FAR caseworker called the mother. She said she could not meet with the caseworker because she was sick. The mother gave permission for the caseworker to see the children while they were with the maternal grandparents. The caseworker called and spoke with the grandmother. She confirmed she reported information and they arranged for a visit the following day. The grandmother said that they were going to pay to have the mother's home professionally cleaned. The caseworker met with the grandparents and the children the following day at McDonald's. The caseworker also assisted the grandparents with finding child care. On January 17th, the caseworker called the mother to arrange a home visit. The mother said she could not come over that day, and they set an appointment for 5 days later. When the caseworker arrived 5 days later, the mother did not answer the door. The caseworker called the mother. She answered the call and sounded very tired. She said she forgot about the appointment. She said she stubbed her toe and was in too much pain. She refused to allow the caseworker into the home. She agreed to allow the caseworker to come back on January 23rd, 2 days later. On January 23rd, the caseworker was home. The caseworker brought gift cards for the mother so she could obtain cleaning supplies and formula. They also discussed child care. The home was observed to be cluttered, but no safety threats were observed. The caseworker attempted another home visit on January 28th, but the mother did not answer the door. Later that day, DCYF received information that resulted in a screened out intake. The daycare provider called DCYF and reported that HT had a large red mark on her forehead. HT told the provider that blank was standing behind a bathroom door at church. It opened and hit her, period. The mother confirmed the story. The caseworker attempted an unannounced home visit 7 days later. No one answered the door. The mother's car was parked outside of the apartment. On February 6th, the caseworker called the maternal grandfather. He said that the mother's apartment was dirty again and he was concerned. The grandfather was frustrated that the caseworker did not observe the home in the same condition that the grandfather knew it to be in, and that redacted remained in the home in conditions he deemed to be unsafe. The caseworker attempted another unannounced home visit the following day and on February 12th. The mother did not answer the door, but her car was again parked outside. On February 12th, the caseworker also called the mother and stated he needed her to return his call as soon as possible. On February 25th, 2025, DCYF was notified that the children were found alone in deplorable conditions. So how many days later? 12 days later? In deplorable conditions. CT was found deceased and HT was found near death. This resulted in a CPS investigation and law enforcement investigation. The mother was arrested and charged for crimes related to this investigation. The committee appreciated the information shared by the area administrator regarding a practice change since this critical incident. The practice change is that the office now will restaff a case when a parent requests case closure with FVS prior to completion of services. How about just tell her no? How about that? This staffing will include the previous CPS staff. This case specifically had that issue when the mother wanted to close her case prior to completing Project Safe Care, and when there were identified parenting deficits, inability by the mother to read cues, and large gaps in her understanding about basic nutrition / feeding. The committee appreciated that the staff leaned into the mother's natural supports, the maternal grandparents, and continued efforts to offer services even though mom did not avail herself of them. They also identified utilizing the regional medical consultant regarding the children's exposure to animal urine and conducting an SCC were positive aspects of the case. The committee identified that more collateral contacts may have been helpful. The committee identified that the conditions of the mother's home was possibly a symptom of a larger issue. You think? And that the cause of the issue needed to be addressed. They were also concerned that the mother did not seem to comprehend the education provided by the PSC provider, and that the mother was unable to make lasting changes even after her parents paid for professional cleaning services. Some of the DCYF staff identified that the mother likely had more deep-seated issues that were possibly mental health related. There is information in FamLink that identified the mother had been diagnosed with something redacted. However, the grandparents told DCYF staff that the mother did not have any diagnosis. The committee identified that it is difficult for DCYF staff to read all of the historical information about a case, including a parent's history as a child, when we have so many competing priorities. Medical records were not requested after the FVS case or in subsequent open cases. Prenatal records and birth records were not obtained for either pregnancy or child. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. I bet you would have seen that both babies were born with cannabis in their system at the very least. And I'm here to tell you that when I work in the NICU, that's the fastest way to get your baby taken away is to have them test positive for cannabis. You could have them test positive for opiates and they'll try to work with you. But if they test positive for cannabis, or if your breast milk tests positive for cannabis, it's over. They remove that baby like quick. And I guarantee that those babies tested positive for cannabis when they were born. I would be willing to bet my life on it. It's just absolutely unforgivable. The committee discussed that further work towards assessing and addressing mental health needs and substance use issues would more than likely have required legal intervention due to the mother's stated desires to not continue working with DCYF. She doesn't have a choice. If she wants to keep her fucking babies, she does not have a choice. Who gives a shit what she wants? You're in it for the babies. That should be your number one priority. Save those babies. Fuck the mother. You guys are tiptoeing around these mothers and giving them too much power, and they're dictating to you what your job is. And that's why we're having all these deaths. And I'm sick of it. It makes me sick. It makes me physically sick to my stomach. What the fuck is wrong with you people? The committee did not identify that the circumstances identified an imminent danger to the children and therefore would not meet the legal threshold for legal intervention. I call bullshit. I guarantee if one of those times that she refused to answer her door, if you had the police come to do a wellness check and they made entry into that apartment or that house or whatever, you would have found more than enough evidence to remove those babies and to meet the legal threshold of legal intervention. You're just looking for a reason not to find something. The committee did discuss that during the 2025 investigation prior to the critical incident, a law enforcement welfare check or reaching out to the daycare may have been helpful, especially since the grandfather strongly expressed concern and that the grandparents were the only known support for the mother. Yeah, and you have her collateral support in place, and then when they tell you something, you ignore them. Who do you think is better at judging her home situation? The maternal grandparents or you? You hardly ever made entry into that fucking house. The parents were there and saw the babies and saw the daughter all the time. So when they tell you that they have concerns, listen to them. What are they there for if you're not going to listen to them? What are we doing? The committee discussed that DCYF staff are not and should not be expected to be medical experts. DCYF staff must rely on our you must rely on your collateral contacts and medical consultants. Well, first of all, I didn't hear mention one of a medical consultant through this whole fucking thing. Okay? That's number one. Number two, the collateral contacts that you're talking about did come to you with concerns, and you fucking ignored them. The week before this baby died, the grandfather came to you. And you closed the fucking case. Our committee member with medical expertise mapped the children's growth on growth charts. I didn't see any of that mentioned. She identified that the children were below 5% and believes that this should have been identified as a significant concern and shared it with the DCYF. Well, there you go. So not only did her collateral contacts reach out to you, but so did the medical expert. And you fucking ignored them too. Are you kidding me? You should be held accountable for this as much as the mother, as far as I'm concerned. The committee also discussed that the DCYF, appropriately so, relied on the assessment by the pediatrician of the children's care. Another committee member also shared that DCYF headquarters is creating a training regarding stages and ages of development, and that a large focus is also on malnutrition. You mean you don't have anything like that set up already? What is DCYF for then? I mean, that's basically your basic needs for a child, and you don't even have anything set up already for that? The committee acknowledged challenges DCYF staff face when community partners do not share information. Specifically identified for this case, the mother's criminal case involving criminal animal cruelty, the grandmother not sharing during the case in January 2025 that her daughter had been in the hospital and needed help, or that the daycare did not notify the caseworker when the children's mom stopped bringing them. Committee member, well, you know the mom's not going to tell you shit. And the grandmother probably just gave up talking to you. Committee members discussed how vital clinical supervision in a case work, especially when DCYF staff are new or new to their positions. Then they should be mentored. The FVS caseworker was new to the FVS, and this was her first case. Then she definitely should have had somebody on it with her. The CPS caseworker in 2025 only started carrying cases 5 months prior, and the CPS supervisor in 2025 was new to supervision. There had also been a change in area administrators when the case originally opened. They're just coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. It's nauseating. And the critical, when the case originally opened and the critical incident. Staffing changes are challenging and adds an extra layer of need for critical thinking and shared decision making. The committee appreciated that the office utilized shared decision making opportunities during this case. Unfucking believable. I mean, can you believe the audacity of those fucking people? Coming up with all these excuses. Just 1 second. But not once did they take any accountability for what happened to that baby or to those babies. Not once did they say, yeah, we fucked up. We could have done better. We should have done better. We need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. You have babies' lives in your hands. Do you understand that? I mean, I couldn't work for DCYF because I would literally beat the shit out of somebody at some point, and I would lose my job, possibly end up in jail. And what good would I be doing the kids then? But the stupidity and the inability to take accountability is outrageous. It's mind-numbing. It's the same excuses no matter what city or state you're in. There's always an excuse. There's always a reason. Well, you know what? You know what happens to people that always have an excuse or a reason for fucking up in their job? They get fired and possibly sued. I hold people's lives in my hands, so I literally probably would be sued for a wrongful death action. Most, I mean, I can't imagine anything else that I would get sued for if I fucked up on my job. How these people continue to have a job after something like this happens is unexplainable. How do you explain that? How do you explain somebody keeping their job when something like this happens? There's no excuse for it. There's none. There's no excuse that you can give me that is worth a baby's life. I can't even fathom the guilt and the responsibility I would feel if that were me in that job position. I would resign and throw and burn my diploma or my certification or whatever. But I definitely wouldn't put another child at risk and stay in my position. Because if I lost one child would be too many. But if I stayed in my position, because they're not going to fire me, I would have to quit. But if I stayed in my position and actually, lost possibly another child somewhere along my career path, that would be horrendous. I couldn't live with myself. I am so blown away by the reaction of DCYF. I mean, I can't even, I'm speechless because I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay, now we're gonna okay, let's see if I can get out of here. Okay. I'm looking for, first I want to play some of her Snapchat video before her arrest. It's just too crazy. Let me see. Whoops. Okay. Is it gonna be hard for me to find? Probably. come on. Now all of a sudden I can find all the interrogation video, but I can't find the Snapchat now. All of a sudden. It's like, I don't get it, you know? Okay, well then you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to, there's another thing I can do here. History. Gosh, that's not going to happen either. Sorry about this. Sorry. Do you ever watch those pimple popping videos? Sometimes they're so relaxing. I don't know. Maybe I'm a sick individual, but sometimes I don't know. Maybe it's because I work in the medical field, but I mean, I also fall asleep to scary stories in the rain too. So there's that, you know. Okay, I think I found it. Okay. Okay, are you ready?
My baby was just murdered. Okay?
If a sitter left your kid to die, you would air out the sitter's name. She's a liar.
Watch out for KK. If you know who KK is, shoot that.
So it's really hard to think that she would actually do that.
My heart goes out to the police officers.
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine.
I don't know. No dead baby jokes. They're not funny anymore.
A house of unimaginable horror, where two abandoned children are found in a heartbreaking scene that defies explanation. When their missing mother cries murder in a desperate video online, the search for answers reveals a truth far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined.
I just wanted to have some fun teenage time, and I always say that I can't do it, and this is why I can't do it. And so I guess that was come to an end.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On February 25, 2025, police in Yakima, Washington receive a 911 call from a concerned woman after witnessing the start of an unsettling Snapchat video.
So a friend of mine, she's saying that my niece was murdered and that she looks very strung out and not so okay, and she's talking about my niece being murdered, and she's just going on, and I'm kind of concerned for her. She's posting it all over social media.
I'm on my way.
Okay, let's try that again. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But, oh crap. And I gotta find it again for fuck's sakes. Just 1 second. Why did that happen? Jesus Christ. History. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Fuck.
I don't know. No dead baby jokes. They're not funny anymore.
A chilling 911 call leads police to a house of unimaginable horror, where two abandoned children are found in a heartbreaking scene that defies explanation. When their missing mother cries murder in a desperate video online, the search for answers reveals a truth far more disturbing.
Space with the cherry tree, or space to plant a cherry tree. You make her a little hat. Something.
As officers continued their search of the girl,
Oh.
once detectives arrived at the scene,
Okay, well, obviously, we're not gonna, that's not gonna play the whole Snapchat, which is what I was looking at that particular video for, so we'll just move on to the interrogation. Um, okay, so um, I guess. Okay. It is what it is. Okay, here we go.
It was when I had calmed down and I realized there was these off, there was beams off of me. And so I called.
When you called?
Because I realized that there was no reports of it on the scanner. Okay. I have my so I wonder if he's ready to check on them. So I'm calming down.
Who did you call?
My PD.
What number did you call?
I don't know. It was whenever my phone popped up. Y'all have it recorded. Look at what number is recorded on there. So it's the Google one. Like, and anyway, at this point, I've just been followed by cops, and I'm not okay. And I really tell myself. The plan was to go to Swedish Memorial Hospital in Seattle, crash into the side of the wall or something close to it, because that's where one of my closest memories was my grandma's. So Grandma, Marlene, Leanne, my mom, Roseanne, Leanne, Marlene. So in my head, okay, we're all coming.
So you mentioned you went through the back door when you showed
Yeah.
up, correct?
Yeah.
And you went to go check on the kiddos.
Yeah.
And you saw that was laying down with the towel over
But then
her.
I heard it go, ah. That's why I called the police. That's why I called the police. To have them come.
You saw
that baby right
you
there.
saw. Did you touch at all?
I tried. That's why I ran. It's because I went. Can I? Then I went like that, and then that's one toy. I went. Ah! I immediately. I've never touched a dead body. Okay. I'm not talking about shit, but I'm not like an actual woman.
So at that point, how did you know he was dead?
Cause she and traumatizing ass face. You know that face when you know your child's face.
How long did you
I don't know. I do not. No, I saw it. I saw it dead. And I.
Did you hear her say, I saw it dead? It. She refers to her baby girl as it.
I'm having baby. I tried. And I touched her. And I'm like, I got sensory problems, but I think I also sensory problems. And
did you check?
Dead body.
Did you check?
I heard her crying like right here. She was standing.
So you heard crying and you still left?
Because at that point I had called the thingy right there. I put that in. I thought I went in while I was at my house. So I mean, the plan was to do that. But then I saw the lasers on me.
So
Okay.
you said nobody was home with.
Nobody was home.
Okay. So what do you think would have happened if you would have stayed there a little longer and nobody would have found her?
That's why I was trying to. That's why I was trying to get it in that. And then I had lasers on me, so I thought you guys had got there. And then I was being pinned for all of this because I just left without doing anything. You know what I mean? Like that. Genuinely, I was guilt. I felt guilty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt guilty that I had left, and I wanted to hold my baby. Every time I hold her, every time I get bad pussy, I just want to. Oh no! I really wanted to know where it goes. I just can't remember that. I don't give a fuck. I want to hold my baby. I don't care. I wish I would have.
On the way here, I just want to refresh your memory. On the way here, you asked me how many victims were there.
Yeah, because at that point I didn't know because my police camera wasn't working fully because I don't have data. So I'm at Wi-Fi. And I can't stay at Wi-Fi the whole time. So,
Did you expect? Did you expect?
No, because it's okay, right?
No, you asked me how many victims there were.
No. First I started asking, okay, right? And you're like, I don't know names. You said you don't know names.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, how many victims were there? You said 1. And I immediately knew it was just because I know that obviously dead. And at this point, I left them with the sitter for this. That is murder. That is cold-hearted murder to me.
You just told me you didn't know who.
KK.
Yeah, you don't even know where KK lives.
She comes around. She lives with her different boyfriends right throughout the thing. They never come over, but she always just like, when she's done with them, we have our little talk about how guys are really worse, blah, blah, blah. Then, there's like one named Devin, like.
Tell me a little bit more about KK. I'm trying to understand, because apparently,
So KK.
if she's your babysitter watching your kids,
Yeah,
you
so
have
we
no
had-
information
we
about
had-
her.
We were friends for a while before anything, like, I would ever ask, like, her to do that.
What's her name?
Catherine.
Catherine what?
So, I don't know the last name. It's like Mexican. So, I'm sorry, but I'm not ever going to remember that. I call her KK. I never expected.
How do you get a hold of KK?
How would I get a hold of KK? I would call Serial next door.
Who's Serial?
Serial is the next door neighbor in the back. So,
Serial?
my apartment, sorry. I mean, Serial. Yeah. Back apartment. So, I obviously can't do that in jail because they don't let you look through your phone. You can only go in contact.
So do you have
That is
Serial's phone and KK's number in your phone?
KK doesn't have a number. She has an old number, so I can't even call that
So
one.
how do people get in contact with KK?
She walks to them. She's like one of those recovered tweaker ladies who just kind of like goes. So the whole reason we bonded.
So you entrusted your kids.
No, the whole reason we bonded
KK.
was because we were having our like sober nights together and stuff, and we were getting like not getting better, but I was learning things because she had not adopted out her kids, but
When was the last time you
the last time I saw was that day with my dad.
When was that?
With my dad, the morning of that. Right here. Dad appointment.
So dad appointment.
That one. McDonald's. Doctor.
That's the last time you saw. And who was?
The doctor.
Who was?
When she got home, I laid her down. They were medicine. Pajamas and everything. Like, it was a cute day. It was a really big cute day. And so she was totally fine.
Last time you saw them alive, what did the kids look like?
I mean, they were sick. They were snotty, but I think
Tell me their condition. A little bit more.
because she was coughing. She was like, this around her eyes, right here. Me and my mom had already commented on that. Because that's not concerning. But then I did talk to the doctor about it, and the doctor said that that's fine.
What's concerning?
Mucus comes out of your eyes, apparently. I didn't know that. But I didn't know that.
Okay.
and had a cough. He had a cough and a very runny nose. And she would take that from me and he would go up and it was disgusting. So I constantly wiping that down. And when I got there, I didn't look closely, but it didn't look good. It didn't look good. That's why I left. That's why I left. I mean, I didn't freak out. I didn't freak out there and make everything worse, in my opinion. I think my mom, anytime that I'm stressed out, I'm not allowed to be stressed out because the girls did it. So, I'm just at this. Don't.
This is
I dare you to let me.
this doesn't happen in a couple days.
She was skinny, but not like that. Her ribs were showing, but not like that. She was not even fat at all.
This is caused from neglect.
She was skinny. I had talked to the doctor about that because she refused to eat for a while, and she was starting to eat again. That's why I was getting her McDonald's. She was skinny, but not like that.
This happens over weeks, not days.
She was skinny. She
Not
was
days.
skinny for her. She was like that, and that. Not like that. That's not okay at all. And diaper rash down there. The diet was. I don't want to see that baby. I want to see baby.
I'm not gonna show you a dead baby.
That she wasn't changed at all from. That she wasn't changed at all from my dad's inspection when I came home and everybody was sleeping. That is what I thought. That's what I thought, and I'm scared. Now I'm scared. Maybe that'd be like then hear her cry. You know what I mean? Like what if she passed away? Like during that time, like what if she was sick and she passed away? I don't know what happened with her. I do not know what happened because I saw her that day. But the doctors that I was hanging out with that day with the doctors, that I was worried, but the doctors said that things were gonna get better. And I was explaining how they weren't eating, and she was.
Oh yeah, this happens over
I know.
weeks, not days.
I know. That was not that bad.
While they were in your care.
That was not that bad at all. That was not that bad at all. My child was skinny, but not like that. I have pictures.
Explain how this can happen.
She refused.
While in your care.
She did refuse to eat, so I was giving her only milk because that was the only thing that she would eat.
You mentioned you had taken her to McDonald's. And she
I know,
eating
because
McDonald's.
that's why she started eating. So I was gonna get her some McDonald's because she was starting to eat, and I was happy for her. But I'm not gonna just feed her McDonald's to try to get her better, you know. But
all right, let's cut the. Okay.
no, I'm getting that out. I'm getting that.
So am I. How did this happen? How does this happen over a couple
She
weeks?
She was skinny, but not to that. That is not where she
You
was.
mentioned to me not too long ago that a doctor said that she was fat and that both the kids were fat, and now you're saying they were skinny.
You can look at the times on the doctors. I go get them. You can look at the last time. Yeah.
How did this happen? How
She
did
refused to eat. She got down.
how did these abrasions happen? How did all those sores and blisters happen?
I know that there was one documented one that I was talking to him about because I had laid her the wrong way in the crib one time, and she got her foot stuck right here, and there was a red mark right there. I took a picture of that, and because it wasn't bleeding or anything like that, it just, she got caught like for a nap all night, like, you know what I mean? Like I put her down, didn't.
This isn't normal for a 2-year-old.
That's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm about that. She had gotten down to like right there.
And at any point you didn't consider taking him to the doctor?
I was. That's what I was
that
going to
happen?
do. My kids were coughing, hacking, my car wasn't working. I'm only me. So I.
But you knew your daughter was like this, because she was like this when you went to Tri-Cities.
She was skinny. She was
Okay.
really skinny when we went to Tri-Cities. She was really skinny. I have pictures that.
So you were more concerned about going to Tri-Cities than going getting
I was trying to.
care for your daughter.
No, it wasn't that at all. The doctor's appointment was already set for that day. I was just waiting for the doctor.
You told me the doctor appointment was for you, not for your kids.
It's supposed to be for all three of us, and then I just went. Because at that point, they were sick, they were crying, they were happier in the car. Seriously, they were happier in the car than they were anywhere else. So I thought that was totally fine. So they were sitting in the car seat. I got tucked into their car seat. They were skinny. Yes, they were skinny. The doctor assured me that getting, like, I showed him, at the time I read how it was, and it wasn't that bad.
Okay, you told me earlier that they were fat.
Okay.
That they were chunky
Okay.
and they were making fun of you.
Okay. Her 2-year-old appointment. That was one before. So that would be her 16-month appointment. You can look at Dr. Everly's charts and you can see what I'm talking about. That was way before she got sick, and then she refused to eat anything other than milk. And she even refused milk. And I did talk to her. I talked to him about it, and I knew, like, she can't talk.
You talked to who about it?
The doctor. So I went to Dr. Vickers.
So
Right, and I explained that they hadn't eaten, and they were refusing food.
So her 2-year appointment was in January, correct?
It was the appointment before that one. It was like her 16th, so that's not.
Her 18-month appointment?
I think I did. 18. You can look, it's on there. You can see where she got back.
So you're saying since that appointment, she had stopped eating?
Not all of the days. She stopped eating for days straight. Like days straight. So
And that wasn't concerning?
Her milk. I was giving her milk. You gotta check. And like my mom groups, and I was like, guys, you're refusing to eat. And they're like, that's normal. And so at like day like 4 or 5, I'm actually like getting worried. Like, so I asked the doctor because like I'm like, she's like not eating, but now she's like trying to, because I was giving her like bites of like food that I would like, you know what I mean? Like, I would give her like some of my little chicken chalupa, and she would love that. But if I tried to just give her anything else, because it wasn't special food, she wouldn't want to eat it. So she ate it with Sophie, totally fine. And then they were still sick, still snotty, but they were happy. They were doing okay. They were skinny, sick.
How often would you go with not feeding them?
No, I wouldn't go without feeding them.
How often would they go without eating?
She was drinking like half of a bottle from it. She was drinking like she would totally refuse the bottle and she would throw it out of the crib. And she wouldn't cry. So I thought she was drinking bottles, and then I would come in and then it's milk. And I'm like, well, that's wasted. And so I would try again, nothing. I tried tomato soup, that was more.
I'm trying to understand what part of your story is true and what part of it is just a complete lie. Earlier you said that you would make 8-ounce bottles and they were chugging the bottles.
Yeah, I'm talking
and they were
about
all chugging bottles, and now you're saying that they're only drinking a little bit and they're
You were
throwing the
asking
bottle.
about how they were growing up. I'm talking about 0 to 1. Okay? I'm talking about 0 to 1.
Okay.
Not the time.
Cherry is
6
7.
months old.
Correct.
7 months
And you said
old.
she was already taking 8-ounce bottles,
Yeah,
and now you're saying
she
she's
was taking 8-ounce bottles, and then she goes to taking like 2 ounces at a time.
Okay, you didn't mention any of that.
And no, I didn't, because you asked them growing up, not them in the fall of their demise. I was on to part.
Tell me about the fall of their demise.
The fall of their demise was getting sick. We were all sick, and then they refused to eat, and I was super tired. And then this week happened, which was when we were kind of getting better.
when you left them alone? Is this the week we're talking about?
No. They got better at the doctor's, and then I think one more. I did one thing with them before we went.
I'm gonna give you some time to look this over and talk about that.
We went really skinny, and I can show you.
We're gonna have to step outside real quick, okay?
I don't know what you want me to do. Just look at these pictures. I get it. It's really traumatizing. I understand. I know that my kids got. So you're just gonna leave me with it.
We'll come back, Rita, okay? You can turn them over if you'd like.
It's traumatizing to do, mother. I understand my kids got skinny, but they were like that. They were like that. They were sunken in like that and pushed out like that. Okay? Say. You can handle that day. Okay, I wrote this out so that you can understand what I'm trying to say more. This period of time, I was sick. They were sick. I was taking care of them, okay? I felt like I was failing as mother. But I was trying throughout all the sickness. Okay, I'm trying to write.
Why didn't you tell me the first time?
Because I'm a visual person. I write down notebooks. Remember? I'm visual. So please look at this and try to understand this, because I'm trying to explain it, and you can look back and you can see where I'm putting this together, okay? So look, this is the week going, and I tried to, I was left with a pen. So I was trying to do it with my this week, before I took the Taco Bell. I went
I can't understand.
We closed it. We closed it. Oh, Noah.
What?
No.
I don't remember what period of time, but we were all so sick. That's when they stopped eating. And I remember throughout that, we were playing Millie's gender reveal. She was about to set our gender reveal cards. And that was the day that I went over and I celebrated the fact that she ate a beefy 5-layer burrito. And we got home. And more time, as I said, I stay home. I stay home. This is just me. This is just me and the kids at this point. And I still feel like I'm failing, okay?
I understand. It's hard.
I feel like I'm failing as a mom, okay? So yeah, I put it out. And it really does look bad. Take it this. Take it this. Take it this. Yeah, for a little bit. And then I thought they were doing fine because we were having an okay time, you know? She's like, she's lethargic and she's getting okay. She's staying here and she's saying like, she took like 4 ounces once, she took like 2 ounces once, like, hey.
We just, it was locked, so we had to know.
Okay.
We don't get locked in here.
So, yeah, it really does like that. I really just gave myself for that.
It's okay.
But before, I was doing everything. So I thought that I could trust this 30-year-old mom, you know? So I'm talking to her, and I'm like, yeah, I'm my birthday, I feel like I'm getting better.
Who's the 30-year-old mom?
KK.
Oh,
Look, KK. And I put it KK right there too, so and so, and by the way, so Melly started her miscarriage here. You guys won't understand this, so I'm putting it into stupid terms so that you guys get it. Melly has her miscarriage. She starts bleeding. She starts spotting. That's when it's pink on the pad. It's not a full miscarriage yet. It's just she'll understand. If you have any questions, she can understand. Or she can come in to understand it more. So Dad's got gas because we know that the day after she's gonna be actually like miscarry, like clumps, cell, tissue. So I refuse to go to Planned Parenthood. I'm pro-life. I refuse to give that business any of my service or any of my time. So we get there right after her appointment. Mrs. Senior, Miss Preston, or whatever. Mrs. Removes all of this issue. And so at that point, Tommy said, it's fine if we hang out together that night. And then at night also, I don't like abortion, so she's like, come on. Everything's all day. I don't constantly. I know.
Can I ask you something? So you and I talked about so this is tough. This is tough. And sometimes telling the
I ain't never you.
don't just take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. We talked about this, right? Don't talk.
I don't have anything that calms me down right now, so I'm ready to I'm not ready on my phone. I've been holding on to Bud's jacket, like things like that.
Can I talk?
Yeah, it's okay.
And don't yell. Just talk like normal, okay? That's tough. One of the toughest things has happened to you. And we get that. Okay? Look at me. Look at me. You trusted me, right? I'm an old timer. I've seen a lot, and we have empathy towards you, and we told you that too. Okay, we're not mad at you, right? But you know what your baby deserves. Mom to bite her pride, and just be like, you know what?
It was really bad.
Let me talk. Don't interrupt. Okay. And your baby deserves this. Your baby deserves to hear mom tell the truth. Okay, no matter how hard it is. And dear, I know for sure it's hard. Tell the truth is one of the hardest stuff. But we don't want to see the scribble. We don't want to hear it.
And then I'll rewrite it.
You don't want to hear? You don't want to hear? Why did you leave your kid alone for so long?
I didn't leave them alone. I thought I was leaving them with someone that I could trust.
Because you know that.
And I just didn't see the deterioration day by day.
Stop. We know that KK doesn't exist.
No, she does.
Okay.
Yeah, there should be a note somewhere in my bathroom.
Stop. We're gonna find everything out. And I just want.
Yeah.
I trusted you.
Okay.
Listen. I trusted you driving you here.
Hey.
You talking.
Yeah.
Listen.
Everson from down the road.
Stop.
No, I'm telling you a key piece of information. Everson from down the road.
I listened to you for 2 hours. I want you to listen to me for 5 minutes. Okay? You want to go off on tangents about things that don't matter.
I'm trying to explain
I want
everything.
you to talk about your daughter.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us the truth. I want you to tell us why this happened.
I'm trying.
Please.
Then I went day by day, and now I can go to my daughter.
So how long did you leave her alone?
They're sick. They're sick. And I'm to a point where I'm like, I feel like I'm doing just a bad job.
How long were they?
It was a week at that point.
A week at that point?
It was a week at that point.
At what
It was
point?
really bad. It was.
The point you found her? It's been a week. It was a week
No.
at that point.
Oh, it's a week until I went to here.
Hey, I don't.
Okay. The night that we got I left them with KK, and that was a long time.
I give these cops all the credit in the world for having the patience to sit in that room, that small room, and listen to this buffoonery. I mean, I'd lose my shit. Honestly. Would I be ripping my hair out? You're absolutely... yeah, I would be. Would I be... I couldn't. And these guys, God bless them, because I just don't have the patience for this kind of absurd behavior. even though I know a lot of it is probably, drug induced or trauma induced, but she's only experiencing trauma because of her actions, right? I mean, if it weren't for her actions, we wouldn't be in this room. So I wouldn't have the patience. I'd scratch my eyes out or something. And that room just seems like it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. You know what I mean? So anyway, sorry about that. Sorry.
I put that to.
So you left him with KK for a whole week? Is that correct?
It would be 6 days. And I didn't mean to make it 6 days. I went to jail.
We got it.
Yeah.
They know.
So when you left,
Let
me
hold the tab.
When you left your kids with KK, how long did you tell KK you were going to be gone for? After getting them a chicken?
And I didn't know how jail worked. I haven't been to jail. I hang out with people who would talk about going to jail.
Okay. But
no?
You hadn't gone home since.
No, so I went
before jail you were gone home for 4 days. That would be 6 days, correct?
Yeah, I left right that night.
Yep.
I needed to sleep. And at that point I just felt like my friend just had a miscarriage, so I thought it was like
What did you think would happen to your kids being alone for 6 days?
were with KK. I have that key piece of information. So down the road at the apartments that used to be purple. Do you know the apartments that used to be purple across from the green church?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Multiple? There's a guy named Epperson. That is KK, one of KK's parties. But like they have domestic violence. I think one time.
Okay, we'll look into that. So listen.
That.
Okay.
You would know KK. KK is a real person. I didn't just leave them alone. I didn't think I was just leaving them alone, but now I really feel like there's nothing happening, and they got cleaned up when I got home, and then.
You mentioned earlier that it was possible that you might have been dead when your father was there. Is that correct?
No, it was the fact that I came home.
Because your dad went over and check your house at one point.
And I was told after I got my little. I don't know what it was. I went to go get a Circle K down the road from.
Tell the truth.
Okay. Circle K down the road from Kindred's house. Not really down the road, but right there. It sells EBT Red Bulls. So I took him to go get one because I just wanted to talk to somebody. I really wanted just to get everything off of my mind. Because that was really traumatizing for me. Miscarriage.
I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to tell me.
Yes.
Okay.
I trusted KK.
I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to tell me.
Yes.
How long dead?
I don't know. Because that is the day that the last time that I know she was alive was we went to the doctors. And I don't know.
You know what I really feel bad about is that you know.
I don't.
And you didn't want to tell your mom because you told us over and over again that she'd be. And it was embarrassing to you.
And I
And
had
she
already
shouldn't-
made that police report
she
so I thought
shouldn't be
the
raped.
police were going.
She shouldn't be raped. She shouldn't. Because this kind of stuff can happen. So
I
just,
didn't want my mom in went there. Like, I called her too.
so was it a week?
I called her
Was it a week
this
ago?
morning.
Was it a week ago?
No. The last time, I know, for sure that they were like, it was right before I picked up Kindred, like all that. That's the last time. And then I came home from that.
Before the gas inspection.
Yes, and I was told that they were sleeping.
By who?
KK. So we were just doing our inspection thingy. I was like, yeah, they're sleeping. They were sleeping.
Let's be honest.
No, literally, yes, they were. I'm
If they-
sorry, I did not care to check them because I trusted them. I did. And I'm a piece of shit for that. I should have checked on my kids and that.
We've talked to multiple people who said they've constantly heard your kids crying every day, and they haven't heard your kids crying for over a week now.
And
Do you know how long a week is?
yes, but I also know that Hexy would, you know, probably cry through that. If I wasn't there, so for the last week when I was gone,
Their diapers weren't changed.
like,
Nobody
that's
was watching
super
that.
fucking horrible.
Nobody
I'm
was
not
watching them.
And it's my fault that I trusted her.
That's
So
okay.
it was millions, my fault. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I trusted her.
It's okay.
And she is a real person, and she's not a real person that I can. And I know I'm not guilty for trusting her. I just wanted a break. And at that point,
Can you take us to where she lives so we can talk to her?
sometimes.
Hey.
I can think of it.
I think, can we drive by the house and you just point it out to us?
Yes.
I'm
yes.
not right this second, but
Yes. It's one of the apartments in that apartment. It's one of them. I don't care to go over there.
is she white, Hispanic, black, native?
She's a native and Hispanic. He is native and Hispanic, but he's cousins of Emma. So Emma would know him. And you can talk to Emma.
Okay, let's flip back to,
I went to jail and I was gonna hang out with them that night, and I got the big donuts selling me.
you are scared of us having a perception of you by telling us how long Terry's been dead.
I
And
don't.
we are not going to judge you. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not fibbing to you. I'm looking,
I
remember we
feel-
talked about eye contact?
Yeah, no. I feel.
Was it last Tuesday?
I don't know, it's Tuesday, but I feel like maybe she was lying to me about them being asleep.
Yeah. And
That's
that's
what I'm
good.
scared of, but I didn't think about that at the time.
So Dad comes every Sunday for inspection day?
No, we've been sick. So he's been giving us a little bit of a break, like, he has been. I've been really trying.
This young lady has absolutely no business having kids. None. Absolutely no business having kids. Maybe later in life, I don't know. But her behavior is so abhorrent.
Yeah, I'm trying, and they were giving me a little break with you. Perfect.
Did you know what happened and you were trying to medicate yourself?
No. After all that, I tried to overdose,
Yeah.
but it didn't
After all
work.
of what?
After
After you
I found dead, and I reported it, and I was already like gone.
What were you overdosing on?
I had got some cocaine.
Oh, when's the last time you did some cocaine?
I did it all in one go. I did a 50, and I thought I would die.
When was that?
That was the night when I thought the police were there.
The night that you found
Yes. Yes. It was after, and I thought the police had gone, and it was after the whole, I thought the police were chasing me. Like, that was scary. I find my child dead, and I'm already blaming myself because I said that exact same thing to myself, okay? That's what I did. I basically just left them, and she did nothing. Apparently did nothing because I didn't spend enough time with them after the doctors and the McDonald's to see. And then I get home and she's gone, and my child's dead. And I don't know for how long, but I feel like she was. And I should take, but I swear I'm fighting someone doing church.
Yeah.
I want to go in the car.
Ladies, you have to swoop and scoop. These are the Halara BBL leggings. They have a booty band, like a bra.
You know what else we get? We get that you're 20 years old, and that you've had a kid since you were 16, 17-ish.
Yeah.
And you didn't get to really experience life, and these kids kind of got in your way. Right?
But I didn't kill them.
No. Hey, no one's saying that. No one's saying that. Listen, stop.
But I thought you guys were chasing me for.
We want you to tell us. No one's saying you murdered your kids.
That's what I thought.
No.
That's what I genuinely thought.
No.
And then there was a reflection. The vape had something on it, because that was not cocaine
We
feeling.
don't want to talk about that anymore. We want to talk about the day
No.
you learned that Cherry's there, and then you came to realization because you sobered up because you went to jail.
I was
And you
trying
said, you know what? I have a clear mind right now. I'm going to jail, and I'm going to go check on my kid. And you verified it. And you're like, oh.
But I had my heart sunk.
Yeah.
For some reason. You can see it in there. I was
Because
doing
you
just
knew all that.
fine. I was doing just fine. And I thought, fuck.
You
I need to go check on my babies. I need to go check on my babies. I need to go check on my babies.
Because you sat in jail for 12 or 14 hours and you sobered up. And you
No,
you
I
felt,
had nothing
listen.
before jail.
And then you felt that in you as a mom. Your mom bum came out and said, I have to go verify that my child is
I didn't do any cocaine before because
No, I'm not talking about that. What did we just say? You got out of jail?
I got out of
You had clarity in your mind, and you had a little bit of guilt in you, and you said, I'm gonna go check on my baby and verify.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what day did then yes, we established that. So what day did Carrie die?
Sinclair because I was trying to convince my dad.
Right. You're convincing yourself it's not true, I get it. But what day did you learn actually died? Was it a week ago or 10 days?
No, it was the jail day.
Well, that's the day you verified.
Look at it. The jail day is the day that I verified. But before that, it would have been the day. I'm not gonna put it, okay?
When did
Okay? That my dad came over and she was like, they're sleeping. And I was like, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
That's when you went to the church? It's okay.
And then
It's okay.
It's okay. It really is.
not. It is not okay because I chose to have my children. I planned both of them.
Very true.
I love my children. I love them. I still love them. All I want is my two babies, okay? And that's never gonna happen because I hate it. Also, I can see it right now in my tears. That is freezing. That is just forgetting it out, and then you see it all.
Why didn't you call us the day you found out?
I didn't have. I didn't know that I could call 911. I didn't know that was a thing without data and a SIM card. I didn't.
I mean, my daughter's 4 and she knows.
I did not know that. I really did not know that. I had never been told that.
Did your
That
phone work?
didn't mean it.
Did your phone work the day before Dad came on Sunday?
Yeah. She canceled it the night of our fight when I was trying to figure out how to tell her the and after I been submitting that.
Okay.
We were in the middle of the fight. I was doing that.
You were on your way to the truth right there, and you stopped yourself. We want to hear it. Come on, girl.
No.
See?
No. We were on our way. Try it. Me and my mom. She told me to call her. I was trying to tell her the fact that I was in jail, okay? I don't want her to know that I was in jail. I don't want her to know that I was in jail now. I was embarrassed.
It's not important right now, Kyleah.
I know.
Your kids are.
I know. So I'm gonna tell her about that. So that was my fault. And so I was just gonna say, Mom, I came back from jail. And then, I'm sorry, I don't have anything to do. I came back from jail. And my kid's dead. Judy and I don't know how to tell her. And she cancels my phone service before I can even call her back. And then I tried to get up there on my little run. I thought people were chasing me, but then I was scared and I know the gate.
All right, stop. So, when
I
you
don't know the gate code and I can't make the
this
door.
is going to be tough. When you were in Cowtown,
Shut up.
okay, tell my partner and I.
No.
Tell my partner and I.
Yeah.
What she did.
No.
How do you know?
Cowtown, I don't think she was dead.
You don't think so?
No, because I went back. I gave her the bottle. I got her all this in the car seat.
She wasn't.
That
yeah,
day of Cowtown,
She wasn't.
at the end,
You and 3 others slept in
No.
the car.
Cowtown was the morning. We slept there in the morning. We left at 6 o'clock and I came back for my doctor's appointment. It was supposed to be ours. And then I even called and I was like, would you believe I just come in with all this stuff to them.
You to tell us her date of death. She does. She does.
I didn't do anything.
I'm not saying you did.
I don't know her name that. But I know she was alive that day.
What day?
The day of the doctor's appointment. And it was really bad.
Kyleah,
It was
do you
really
think
bad.
if you took, because I'll tell you this, if I saw the doctor, I would not let you leave with him. So I know you didn't go to the doctor with him.
How?
Because I wouldn't let you leave with the way
Yeah.
they looked, how malnourished they were. I would not let you leave with
But
those
it was
kids.
not that bad. It was not that bad. That is horrible. That is more than I ever did.
That happened
That I
over
would've given it.
weeks.
Over weeks, yes. But
Correct.
those last,
Weeks.
I would have sent them to my mom at that point.
Right.
I would have, but my mom
You-
was really embarrassed me about it, so I took someone else to do it. I didn't put it over there. But I wanted to make my mom happy.
So why'd you say you took him to the doctor when they never went to the doctor? You don't have to lie to us anymore. It's okay to tell the truth.
You know how much
I
better.
can't stay there.
You know how much better you'll feel knowing.
I can't stay there.
Because we're not judging you by any stretch. Look at me.
But I
Eye contact, like you told me that. Eye contact.
I judge me. You might not.
Not judging you.
But I was a shitty mother that week and that led to their death.
It's on my skin. We're not judging you. And I guarantee you he's not. But you know the truth. Just say it. Just
I don't know when she died.
okay.
When she was alive at the doctor's appointment. I know that because I at least checked on her in the morning.
But you never took her, correct?
Katie was there sleeping.
Why didn't you take her? Take her to the doctor.
And then that point, it was so bad that
Yeah.
I was scared that my kids were gonna get taken from me without me getting the chance to.
Yeah.
We did that, and then that was me trying to. Me trying to. That sounds so shitty, but that was me trying. And then. I got it.
So you knew.
I just leave.
So you knew they needed to go to the doctor,
I leave because I heard her face cry.
right? You knew they needed to
And
investigate. You knew they needed to go.
I explained that they were eating.
But you knew they needed to go get seen by a doctor, correct?
I thought that I did genuinely at that point it was really bad, but I thought that I could fix it. I thought that it was just really, really sick. Really, really sick. I thought I could fix it.
But you knew it was so bad that if you took your kids to the doctor, that he would take them from you. Or you felt that way, right?
It felt that way.
Yeah.
I always feel that way, taking them to the doctor. That's why I like taking them to the doctor, but you can see on the reports that they're doing good. They were doing.
Well, we do have a job to do to check all that stuff. So that means,
Yeah. They were. I was doing so good, and then everything started going bad.
When did everything start going bad?
Everything started.
You don't need to write stuff down. We can talk.
Everything started going bad when it was really bad.
Christmas?
Maui had a miscarriage. No, I'm talking about right now. Because it wasn't bad until they got sick. You can see pictures from Hexie's second birthday. They're being going bluey. I want them being going bluey and stuff. They were so fun. They were doing amazing. You can see the pictures. My mom has the pictures. And me and my mom also went to Denny's with them. They were still doing good. And that was like good 2 weeks later.
Yeah, you earlier you also mentioned that you were having car problems, right?
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you, in the car seat?
No. So I said that, I told my mom.
Okay, I know that's not true. Okay.
I know.
We talked to the guy.
I left KK.
Huh?
I left them with KK inside.
And they were never in the car.
Why did I keep my mom's stupid fucking life for you guys? I wanted to be my mom was okay and happy. And then I go to jail. And then my child died. And now I wanted my mama. Because I really wasn't doing okay. And I was trying, I was fighting, and she knows that. She knows I was really trying.
How much of what you told us is true?
And all of that. And I take the doctor's thing back. That's
And the
it.
kids in the car.
Yeah.
In the car. So a lot of stuff you told us isn't true.
They were happier in the car that night that I did take them out. And then I
Sure.
let them get cake
Hey.
and then I thought that was okay.
It's the truth. Okay.
And they were happy in the car, and then I left the cake there, and I didn't come back, but she was there when I got back.
You just said she wasn't there when you...
No, she was there when I got back for the doctors. And she was there until my dad came, and I shoot her out. Some of her stuff is still underneath the sewing machine, the old one that was my grandma's. That's her stuff. And you look at it.
You know, you don't have to think hard about.
No, I just was trying to figure out my grandma's machine. That doesn't make sense to you guys. So my grandma's sewing machine is right underneath the hamster.
We saw it.
Yeah, that's all her stuff.
Who's the, your grandma?
KK's.
Okay.
The bag and all that stuff. And
What's KK?
I hate this. I knew she was using, but I would still leave her at home with the kids.
Tell me more about that.
I don't know exactly what she was using because I try not to get involved with it because
So
I
you
had a cold
You
problem.
knew KK was using and you still decided to leave her.
She said she wasn't using that much.
You
She
just said you knew she was using.
I know, but you know that. Like Derek McIntosh showed up at my door, and then
Do you think it's possible that you knew was already dead? And when she opened that door to that room and saw she left, scared?
that she left?
Yeah.
No,
What is that?
that was an idea, yeah. And
So you think that you already knew was deceased, and you asked Kay to look after them, and when she opened that door and she saw dead, she
No.
left.
no, I didn't. I just didn't check, and I kind of went with what she was saying, and I saw that they were doing really bad.
So you
But
saw they were
I
doing,
went to go
so,
get McDonald's
so you saw they were doing
to try
bad.
to do better.
You saw your kids were
And
doing
then
bad.
like that.
You saw your kids were doing bad, and you still decided to leave.
I just wanted to go get something she would smile at me for. I just wanted to smile after all that. And we got McDonald's. I wanted to make my friends happy. I wanted to make me happy. I wanted to make my kid happy. Honestly, get over it, you know?
You're 20. Of course you want to make your friends happy. We get that. 100%.
But that was all of it. That's not just my friends. I just need a break. So I had.
And it's tough being a 20-year-old
And it's
and
just like,
raising 2 kids. I get it.
and I had left here with them before. And they were fine, but not that long. And I hate myself for that.
Do you think it was 10 days?
Like a week. Looking back at it, it was a week. But it didn't feel like a week.
Sure.
Because I was driving, I was dealing with Melly's miscarriage, I was dealing with Evan's voice, I was dealing with...
You were trying to keep your mind off of it, right?
Yeah. I was just trying to, like, I thought that leaving them with her would do, like, maybe some good. Because I feel like a shitty mom, right? Like, I feel like, okay, we'll leave them with, like, a 30-year-old, right? And then I come back and, you know, they're not doing it at all okay. I cover it up and I go to the doctors and
You covered who up?
I didn't cover anyone up and they were still alive at that point. But I go to the doctors and I explain all this stuff. And then I spend time with my mom. And nothing after another.
You left your kids alone for a week.
No,
You left your kids with
KK.
KK for a week.
Basically now I'm staying alone.
You didn't see them for a whole week. Is that correct? You left them with KK?
I came back intermittently.
But never looked at, checked on the kids.
She was passed out. I know they were passed out. Like, I didn't.
So were you telling us that?
I don't think she was dead that long. No, because I went in there. I went in there the day of the doctor.
You know we're gonna find out.
And they, I know, but they genuinely, I went in there for the doctors. It wasn't really mine. But I thought that I was gonna get better. So after the doctors and all that, I did go out with Kenny. We got her a drink. I came back. I was doing all the work to try to get the apartment okay because after all that is all up.
It's coming.
Yeah, so I was the apartment was somehow okay. And then I get back and it's like then it's messier, it smells bad. And I really did feel like
You know why it smells bad? You can admit it.
We know you left the window open.
Girl, you can admit it. It's time. It's time. It's time. I want to leave here today knowing that a mom understands that things happen and they mess up. And it's not
messed up though.
And it's not the end of the world.
It's the end of the world.
Right? So show her some respect and tell us.
I did. And then I fully looked.
And it smelled.
It didn't smell any worse than my normal. I have nose blinds in my house.
Why'd you open the window?
I didn't open. The window has been open for months. The window has been open for months.
You know how cold it's been?
I know, but I turned the heat up. That's why. And that window has been genuinely open for months. I did not. Because if I would have seen her dead, I would have reacted dead. You know? If I would have seen her dead, I would have reacted dead. But I just.
But you told us that you knew they weren't doing too good.
I know they weren't doing too good.
As a mother, wouldn't you want to keep checking and taking them to the doctor, try to get them some help?
I haven't been doing that. I'm doing good. I'm making money on OnlyFans. No, I'm a slut and I just stopped. So I stopped. And then I don't make money and then I rot away myself. And then I don't do too good. And then my mom's like, why aren't you doing good? So I start up again, and then we got sick, and then just decline. It's just decline day by day. I want an help. I want my mom help. I really do. I really want my parents help. I really do. I wanted to move back in with them. There's no room to move back in with them. I wasn't doing okay. I wasn't doing okay.
Why didn't you reach out for that? Why didn't you reach out for help when your kids were sick?
I tried, but my parents, they worked so much to support me that I felt like I had to do okay.
Why didn't you reach out?
I tried. I
They've
tried.
been sick for a long time. Yeah, they needed help. Why didn't you get them help?
You're constantly failing. I'm constantly failing. I'm just a fucking failure. And I failed so much. I feel so bad trying to not fail. I was trying to give myself
But you knew they needed help. You're telling me.
I thought, you know.
You thought going away would get them help?
I'm going away. Like, give me a second to breathe.
Yeah.
Give her a second to just do her thing that I thought she could do. And you know, she said she had kids. And I believe that she has had kids. And I can show you guys who knows her. But
you told me you knew they weren't doing well. For a while, you said.
I know, when I was so tired by the end of doing all of that I thought 3 days would be okay. And then I did that half-ass check. And the doctors, no one to the doctors.
Yeah.
And I got it.
How did
I don't know. But
we're gonna find out.
It didn't look like she, yeah.
She had what?
It didn't look like she had been eating. But, I mean, the formula cans were going. I had multiple formula cans, and now I wasn't able to find one. And so I made a comment, and I was like...
How do you think?
I don't know. But right now,
What do you think in your mind?
in my mind, the thing that makes most sense is they weren't being fed. And
How long do you think they were being fed for?
I don't know. But
Week?
my guess is when I left them with KK, she just didn't do it. And she probably took the cans since they're like $20 each. Did some more with them so that
I'll tell you this much: the cans are still in the house.
there
I saw
was,
them.
there was like 12.
I saw the formula inside them.
And there was like 12 and my mom had gotten me some more. But there were some in the cupboard. But they were sealed.
So for you to say there wasn't any, and or she had taken them, that's
No, the ones I had that I set out. The ones I set out. And that
When's the last time you
I kind
physically
of felt like
fed
that
them?
was because
When's the last
I
time you
left
fed
3.
When's the last
When
time you fed them? You
I
physically.
fed them physically the day that I left. For all of that.
A week ago.
The night I got gas. And then I went KK with them and I explained everything.
That was more than a week ago.
Yeah.
That was more than a week ago.
And the day that that's got gas.
Hey, you know what? But honestly,
And
a week, listen, look at me. A week, 10 days, 14 days, 20 days, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just, it's arbitrary, it's a number, right? So,
Yeah.
you can try to shine it up and say it wasn't a week or it wasn't 10 days or 14 days. But how long do you think it's been since your oldest daughter? 8?
I have had, like, the day that
Just a guess. Just a guess. 10 days?
the last time that I ate better.
2 weeks?
I was getting to the McDonald's and then the day that, again, the day that I left for all of that, that we found out that Melly had the miscarriage, so that would be, I have the time zone on my,
You found Cherry dead. Why'd you leave? Hexy there.
I was scared to look at her. I was scared to see that, because in my heart I knew
But why'd you leave Hexy?
because I was scared to touch her.
Scared to touch Hexy?
Yeah, I was genuinely scared to pick her up because I knew what state she would be in. I knew in my head that she wouldn't be okay and Jerry was dead, so I wanted the police to come and I wanted them
You wanted
to get her and to get her, like, you know, remove her from this situation. I don't want to be in the room with a dead baby either.
But your daughter, Hexy needed you.
I know.
She needed her mother.
And I wanted the police to get her. That's the most pussy thing that I've ever done as a mother. I should just grab him and I'm scared. I was in my head. I felt like if I was dead, what if I pick her up and then I snap her to death because she's so frail. So I wanted
How frail do
I wanted to go because in my head it was like that, but I didn't think it was that. I was scared. I was so scared, and that's why I thought y'all were chasing me. And I genuinely still don't know what happened with that. I got one of the vapes.
Were you scared of us or were you scared of your mom?
I was scared of you guys. I was scared of getting shot.
No. Backing up from my partner. My partner said, why didn't you grab Hexy? And you said, I was so scared. Of course you're going to be scared, but were you scared of your mom? Were you scared of your mom or were you scared of the police?
No, I was scared of
Picking her up because she was so frail.
after I had tried to pick up Cherry and I felt I was scared that I had nothing to do with and she was tied in my arm.
Did you pick her up in your arms?
No. No. I got
Wait.
that part.
And she was cold.
And cold and wet and I was scared.
And you thought he was the same?
No, I didn't think she was dead, but I was scared that if I were to grab her, I would kill her. Because I feel responsible, even though I left someone there. I am responsible, even though I left someone there, because I thought it was gonna be one last when we go on this trip. And then I think it would be fine if I don't call my mom. I tried to call my mom and I went to jail. But I didn't ever know it. I don't want to stop, but going to jail is something that would just push her over the edge.
What do you think?
And now I'm responsible for my kid dying, so.
What do you think KK's gonna tell us?
I don't know, but I genuinely loved her with them before. She just kind of slept it off. She did play with the kids. I would watch her feed them.
Does she know that your kiddo's dead?
I don't know.
Well, right now is the time to step up. Right now is game day.
I don't know because
You think so?
but she was there when I got back.
Yeah.
And
What'd she say?
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. Let's dip.
no,
She's in panic mode too, or
no.
she was just chill about it.
She wasn't. She said they're sleeping, so just don't wake them up. And that's what I thought was weird. That's when I had like a mom feeling, but I was too worried about my dad. I didn't worry about my dad. I didn't really my mom. So she came back around, and that was after Garrett kids showed up.
So did you?
And
Was the odor that your dad smelled and you smelled in your apartment, was that from a dead body?
No, that was the trash can in the front. Some of it, if she was dead then, some of that could have been. That's scary.
You already told us that you think she was.
What?
You already told us that you think she was.
Well, some of that would have been her, but it would have been. I don't think the body would smell it.
Let's not swap
One.
around. Let's not swap around. Let's just-
But no, genuinely, it was
this is
the white one in front of the thing. It was the white one in front of the thing because honestly, I think I had pissed in it. Well, it was because my bathroom was just hanging out in the bathroom, and I didn't want to go up, and I didn't want to, and I was so incredibly sick that I didn't want to walk. So I'm pretty sure I left it there, and that was the white trash can that's in front of the house right now. That I just threw outside because genuinely I went to go dump that, and then that created the smell that was so horrible.
Urine doesn't smell horrible.
After it sits for a while with horrible stuff, genuinely, please, if that hasn't been look at it, because that was the smell that I was smelling, and the rest of the apartment wasn't. It smelled It smelled bad. But I just thought it smelled bad. There was kitty litter, and I needed to take a big box.
There's poop on the walls. Inside the kids' room.
And she's made the poop around. Every time that she's done that, I've tried to clean it up. I have cleaned it up to the best of my ability. That may not be perfect, and there might still be like a little chunk here or a chunk here or there, but I think place will wipe. And I genuinely would.
How long did it take you to do your makeup?
I did my makeup in the car while
How
I was talking.
long did it take you?
It took me like 15 minutes.
That does not take 15 minutes.
It does. It was just eyeliner. I can do it in 15 minutes to show y'all, like to prove myself.
But it's perfection.
Yeah,
It's perfection.
I love ICP. I just wanted to
So do I.
have me
I do
moment.
too. I love Insane Clown Posse. Love them. I do.
Yeah.
Listen. Look at me. But you just told my partner, you know what, I'm getting at a point here.
Yeah.
You just told my partner that to the best of your ability, you clean up that is all over the wall. But yet my partner
You're mailing in the
saw shit
crib.
all over your wall.
You're mailing in the crib that I knew that there was spots of
And your
shit, but I would go over the wall because that's the easiest part.
And your makeup is perfect. Perfect. I
Yeah.
saw your picture. Perfect. It's great. But you in a white garbage can?
Yeah. Well, that's also something that I've kind of held on to from my parents because my parents would lock me in the room and then I would trash can.
Do you think your baby had been dead for so long that his body was decomposing and that was the odor you were smelling?
No.
Did you leave the window open to keep it cold in there because
No.
somebody maybe had told you the body won't decompose at a certain
No.
temperature?
The body will decompose even at that temperature. I know how like meat works.
Did you
You know?
Did you search it?
Did I search it? No. I didn't look long enough. The window has been open for months. And I didn't make it up.
You know that it was 14 degrees just a couple weeks ago? I was working outside, 14 degrees. And you're telling my partner, we're all three adults here. All three of us are adults. And we're all reasonable people. But you know what, I'm getting a little frustrated because
I left that open. I have
look at me,
left
time
it
out,
open.
stop,
I felt
stop. I liked you since the time I met you out there up at Squaw Rock. Okay? Everyone deserves a chance, and I told you that. There's two sides to every story, and I told you that. But you cannot continue just to sit here and try to lie to us like we're just little kids.
No, the white trash can in the front. There should be still some residue.
I'm not talking about that.
That, and then
Hold on.
the thing
We're not
has
talking
been
about that.
open.
We're talking about the window.
Okay, the window has been open. That's
Why?
genuinely the one. Because I'm lazy and I forgot about it. I didn't even know it was open. It didn't even
You
dawn
just told us it was open for 2 months, but you just said you
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
I opened it during the winter because I turned the heat up so hot that it got blasting in there. And it came in one night and my kids were sweating. I sweated the fuck out.
Straight months. You left the window.
So I
open
turned
on
the
14 degrees.
heat to like right there. And yeah. I would come in and it would be cold, then it would come in and it would be hot, and then it would be cold.
And Hexie slept in that same room where the window was open?
Yeah. And
it's 14 degrees up.
But the heater is in there.
What's your power bill every month?
400.
Okay. Or is that for the whole duplex, or is that just for yourself?
That's just for me. 400 for just me. And
who pays that?
my mom doesn't have anything for me.
That's okay.
I just want my mom.
That's okay.
I would like to go back to my mom. I can't. You take me to my house. There's no room for me. For me now.
Is there anything else you want to tell us?
Yeah.
Kyleah? Anything else that you think we should know? It's important. Something that's gonna.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why I don't want to live with myself. That's why I realized.
Yeah, I'm gonna end our interview and our recording, okay?
So, it's kind of a hard way to leave or to end this video. Yeah, the yelling was a little bit more than I could take, to be honest with you. I wanted to wring her fucking neck, to be completely honest. I give those detectives all the credit in the world for being able to stay composed during that interview, because I was coming unhinged just sitting here, and I wasn't stuck in a little tiny interrogation room with her with no windows and probably no airflow. And she probably didn't smell all that great, because I'm sure that the whole time she was out and about driving around after she left her kids to die, she didn't shower or anything because she was sleeping in her car. So there's that. Yeah, so that is a case I do want to keep my eye on and follow as closely as I can. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they allow the media in the courtroom. This is something that needs to be publicized. It's something that the public needs to be aware of, and eyes need to be opened. We need to pull the blinders off and face reality, and this is reality. As shitty as it is, this is life these days, and this is our kids' lives these days, and it's not gonna fix itself. So something needs to be done before this is so common that we don't even bat an eye at it anymore. I can't even imagine living in a world where that might be a possibility, where people don't even blink twice when they hear about a 7-month-old baby starving to death. And if we don't do something, that's where we're headed. And I don't want to live in a world like that. So, anyway, that's it. Sorry about the length of this video. I really wasn't expecting it to be that long, but I appreciate you watching and joining me for this. I know it wasn't the most uplifting video I've done, but they're not all going to be, fun. Not that any of them really are, but when it involves kids, it's got a whole nother level of stress that it puts on your heart, and it's hard to watch. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay safe, stay happy, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.